national anthem.
Fans, welcome to the 14th year anniversary of the Skyline Chili Reds Futures High School Showcase. We hope you enjoy it.
All right, softball fans, we're back here for Game 2 of the Reds Skyline Chili Futures Showcase here at Mason High School. Had an exciting first game, kind of got away at the end of that game, but now we're coming up with one of the best rivalries, non-conference rivalries that we have in Southwest Ohio. It's Mason versus Lebanon. We have great pitchers today. We have great hitters today. And this will be an exciting game as always. My name is Dave Buffenbarger. I have Andy McBrayer. Andy, give me some thoughts on the game, being a parent of a couple of Mason softball players.
Good to be with you, Dave. Game 2, a lot of speed, Dave. A lot of speed, which isn't uncommon for Mason, right?
That's usual for Mason.
Yeah. A lot of veterans on this team as well. We've got 5 seniors in the starting lineup. One of them here at bat right now. And some good key addition newcomers to the team this year as well.
Yep. I've been following from afar, and I'm impressed with Mason this year, the chemistry, the team. They picked up a couple key positions, like you said, and they have veterans, including Annabelle Geiser, who's batting now, your daughter, and several others that we'll get to during the game. Not the way she wanted to start it, but a pop-up from Geiser to Sophie Scheidler. And interesting, we had a similar dynamic last game. Andy, we have 2 pitchers that are both batting 4th in the lineup in this game. So, pitcher
it's
for
a
Lebanon.
Repeat of last game, right?
Exactly. Pitcher Sophie Scheidler here for Lebanon. Good pitcher, one of the better pitchers in Southwestern Ohio. I got the chance to watch her last week against Kings. And then we have Alicia Fox for Mason. So, 2 good pitchers. I love to watch pitchers duels. As you said, I followed Mason from afar, and I feel like they have speed, hitting. They have just about everything a softball team wants.
They do. Good speed, power into the lineup as well. We were talking about Annabelle leading off there. She's 700 on the season coming in.
That's why it's a little surprising to see her pop up like that. But, you know, Scheidler's a good pitcher, and I got to watch her against Kings. Got a few balls over the plate against Kings, and they have some good hitters over there at Kings. But she also had 13 or 14 strikeouts, so she definitely has a ball that moves. And if she can keep it off the middle of the plate, I think she'll have some success here today with Mason.
A lot of college commits on this Mason team as well. Annabelle heading off to Marist.
Marist, that's right. Your daughter here up to bat. She is headed off to NKU, and their coach may be here today.
I believe Coach Newport is in the stands today.
Okay.
Probably doing a lot of little bit of recruiting.
All right. Alicia Fox, she's going to Thomas More, right?
She is.
Okay.
Scheidler's pitches look like she's just barely missing the outside corner there. That looks a little tough to take.
Well, I actually like to see that. Like I said, I think she got a few over.
Oh, they're not going to get her on that.
Too much speed. She should have let that go.
Scheidler should have let that go. Yep.
Should have let that go. But
that turf has a little bit of angle going down towards that dugout, Dave.
Yep. It's nice.
We got a little glare there on that TV.
Yeah, but with Annabelle, her speed, and then followed up by, Addie there in the 2-hole, that's very tough to defend,
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a lot of that today.
I tell you, Martin's having one of her best seasons as a Comet right now. She's 500 on the season.
Yeah, I saw that, batting 500, and I didn't go back. She's a 2-time first-team all-conference player.
Yeah.
This Mason team is loaded with that.
They're loaded.
Your daughter, 2-time first-team all-conference. Anna B, 2-time first-team all-conference. Alicia, 3-time first-team all-conference. They're stacked. Aaliyah Hensley was a first-team all-conference player last year.
Let's see if Coach Muff uses his speed with Addie on first and gets some runners in motion here, With Scheidler on the mound, you're going to have to get some things in motion.
Yep.
Martin with a little bit of a drive there.
That ball's carrying, and that's back to the fence.
And we got Addie on the move. Let's see if they can send her. He's sending her. She's sending her.
And they weren't awake for it. They weren't ready.
There we go. She's safe. Good
Nice,
start.
nice.
Good start.
Great base running by Addie McBrayer. I'll probably do all the accolades for her today because we don't want her dad to have to feel like, uncomfortable doing that. So here's a replay of that.
That ball just kept carrying.
It did. The wind's different this game. We'll talk about that in a minute. That goes out to the fence, and McBrayer doesn't stop. Give Coach Muff credit for sending her around. She scores. That's the speed we were just talking about. Anna B,
Way to be
Addie,
aggressive.
and then Hallie Martin hitting, like you said, at an incredible clip. Hallie playing shortstop this year.
Yep.
And I know her first year or two.
First couple years
she was at third base, and then they moved her over to shortstop. So she's been a very reliable player for her.
So you look at, like we talked about the lineup there, you got that speed at the top. Martin with some power. Fox, obviously, we got some power in the stick here.
Fox has 2 home runs. That's when I first came across Alicia several years ago in summer. Her bat was something that was very fierce. She hits a ball hard. Now, she's missed some at-bats this year, but she has 2 home runs.
Yeah. Oh. She hit one the other night, 3-run home run against Fairfield. That really opened the game wide open.
And we'll see Alicia on the mound here shortly as well, having a good year pitching.
So I think you see the comments really coming out of the gate early. That's 4 leaders in the first 4 batting, in the lineup there, all seniors.
Yeah.
Experience. All 4 have played for Coach Muff since their freshman year.
That's right. That kind of experience is really rare to have 4 people in that situation. Yeah, we see Scheidler working. She's working the corners today. I'm really glad to see that. Again, I watched her against Kings and got some ball. It was very cold and the weather was not great that night. So, sometimes that plays into it. But she got some balls over the middle of the plate, and Kings has some good hitters. So it looks like she's working the corners pretty well so far. Like you said, some of them were too close to even look at.
Fox battling.
Uh-huh. I think she just was trying to foul that one off there. I don't think she liked it, but
Sophia's just getting better and better every year for Lebanon. She is one of the top pitchers, obviously, in Southwest Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Plays on the Thunderbolts team in the summer.
Yeah, that's right, the Birmingham Bolts.
Yep.
I did know that. So, again, we went out and watched her last week kind of with my daughter, and like I said, she had 13 or 14 strikeouts. So I think just her making sure she gets her pitches where she wants them is the key. And if she does that, it's going to be a low-scoring game. Even though Mason they're starting out pretty solid right now.
Lebanon has another flamethrower that's a freshman, Stansberry. She's in the Hawks organization playing for Joseph Forsky King, 16
Yeah, okay.
Crowd didn't like that call.
Yeah, you could probably hear it. I was informed we have a mic down there, so they can hear the crowd as well as the ball from the pitcher popping the mitt. Scheidler, the full count. She jams up Fox on that one.
Just pulled her off
shortstop. Yeah, first baseman stretched out there to make that out. So.
Shout out to alumni dad that is listening, John Pennington, Sam Pennington's dad.
Okay, Sam Pennington, another first-team
John,
all-conference
thanks for tuning
player.
in and listening to us today.
One of the many slappers that have come through Mason, Pennington.
Catcher Avery Clayton.
Okay, this is one of the key additions, I think, for Mason this year. To get, she actually is neighbors with one of my former coaches in baseball, and he gave me a heads up on her. I'd say 10 school at Seven Hills, but since they don't have a softball program, she lives in Mason and plays at Mason. Yep. So a good addition for the Comets. Okay, well, after she pops up to the first baseman, and after a Addie McBrayer hit, a Hallie Martin double, McBrayer scoring from first, the Comets are going to go to the bottom of the first, up 1-0.
You need some help?
Your toe chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire.
I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
It's important to get a flu shot each and every year because flu viruses are constantly changing and immunity from the vaccine decreases over time. Flu vaccines are updated annually to work against that year's viruses. The best time to get your shot is in the fall, but getting it later can still help. Getting a flu shot lowers your risk of getting sick, and if you do happen to get flu, it's likely to be less severe.
People couldn't see my potential, so I had to show them.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
Today, I'm the CEO of my own company.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Why are we not rethinking this?
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
All right, we're at the bottom of the first now, and in one of the unusual situations here about the Red Showcase is that Mason, although we're playing at Mason High School, at their very fine facility here, Mason is the visiting team today, and I think they rotate them in the showcase. Again, Mason and Lebanon have played in this thing almost every year. Always two of the better softball teams in southwestern Ohio, and this year, no different. So we have Alicia Fox on the mound for the Comets. This is her senior year, and as Andy was saying earlier, Alicia's been a starter since she was a freshman, as has Addie McBrayer, Anna B. Geiser, Hallie Martin. So they have some good experience on here. Sophie Abrams, the center fielder, coming to the plate for Lebanon. Fox delivers. Up in the zone, swung on and fouled off by Abrams.
Fox's 5th start in 5 days.
5th start in 5 days, so we'll see if she goes the whole game. Abrams batting .318 on the year, 6 stolen bases, so she seems like she'd be a threat, as you would expect out of a leadoff hitter to steal bases. Change up there played by Martin, on to first, stretched, and she catches it.
Take that back, Dave. 4th start in 4 days, sorry.
Okay. That's all right.
She started Thursday against Fairfield, Dakota West Friday. Oak Hills last night.
Nice stretch over there by the freshman first baseman, Morgan McBrayer. So we're full of McBrayers here today in the booth and on the field.
Makes my job easy this season, Dave.
But hey, you jump in here, you should know these players way better than I do. So anything you got to say, jump in and make it happen.
Oh, geez.
That was I don't know why she didn't run.
I'm not really sure if she knew where the ball went.
Yeah, so she bunted that, and that's what I like about having Hensley and a fast third baseman. You know, that type of play right there, jumping on the ball, making the play. I think that was her that jumped on that, right? But good play there. 2 up, 2 down so far, and this brings up Ella Tubner. Ella's a excellent hitter, Iowa commit, and she was a member of the Ohio Hawks organization when I was around there, and very much a threat to hit the deep ball. Very strong and athletic. She catches. I think she mainly catches because nobody else can. She could probably play outfield. I think she's fast and strong, and all of the physical attributes that you want to talk about or throw out in the softball player.
She'll give Iowa some versatility for her as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, definitely some power at the plate. Does not like it off the outside corner there.
Now, I know Iowa switched coaches this year, but my guess is that won't impact anything that they feel about Ella Tubner.
No, I agree.
Sometimes the change can be scary, but you went through it yourself with Addie. But coach is here today from NKU, so all is well, right?
That all is well.
2-2 the count from Fox. Works her inside. I like that.
I like that too.
Right on the river. She's not afraid to go inside either. We've talked about that in game 1, and we'll probably talk about that here in game 2. Scheidler's been working the corners in and out. Fox, same thing. Key for a good pitcher. Behind on that one on the outside pitch. Full count still to Tubner. No need to give Tubner anything good. Ball 4 outside. She walked her.
Not a bad walk.
Nope.
That's a kid that can tie the game in one swing for sure.
So Ella Tubner was the offensive player of the year last year in the. There we go. We'll look at that pitch. Yeah, that was outside. She tried to bring it back in. She didn't bring it back into the plate either. So a little bit outside.
And here's our pitcher hitting cleanup, Dave.
There we go. Sophia Scheidler. I mean, she had an incredible batting average here, too. She's leading the league, the Eastern Cincinnati Conference, with 700 batting average. She's right there with Anna B. from Mason. Ella Tubner batting .556. I did look at the stats online, and it showed Tubner did not have, or only had 1 home run. I feel like I saw that 1 home run. It was against Kings last week.
Watched them play Kings.
And it was one of that was off the bat. You knew it was gone. It surprised me she only has 1, but I think people are probably staying away from her more than anything. Hence the walk here from Fox.
Yeah. Even though Alicia's on her 4th start in 4 days, her pitch count hasn't been crazy.
I noticed one game she had 14 strikeouts. So
that was the Fairfield game. She was domination that game.
Yeah, that's 14. I mean, that's not something that's characteristic of her, but she did it against one of the better teams in the league, so that's good.
Crowd's getting a little testy on that call.
It looked good to me. I don't know if we want to go back and show that pitch, but I'm telling you that from the quick glance I had on it, it looked like a strike.
And for all the viewers out there, like you talked about, this rivalry goes back.
Here we go. Okay, they might have had something to argue about.
Let's see if she can go inside here. Good pitch there. She's up in the count. I like it.
2-2, working her up and in. Fox looks different this year to me.
She does.
Last year, I know she struggled with some, various like injuries and some mechanic issues, but it looks like she's fully on this year.
In her 4 years, I would say here she's definitely looking her best.
Yeah, freshman year she looked like very good.
Yeah.
And I think maybe a couple injuries and there's I think some switches and some pitching coaches and mechanics got a little bit off, but she looks solid right now. Obviously, based on the records and stats, she's leading the GMC in ERA at .37 or something like that. That's like incredible. She's leading the GMC in wins with 6 and in second in strikeouts with 55.
He's got that all day.
Yeah, Leah Hensley, solid third baseman. Makes the play over to first. Comets leave Ella Tubner on base, and we head to the top of the second with the Comets up 1-0.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
CWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
All right, we're back to the top of the second. Comets at bat. Aaliyah Hensley leading off. Number 12, third baseman. Already commented on her playing third base, like having that speed down there. Solid third baseman for the Comets. Had a sister, older sister, that also played softball at Mason. So we have a legacy player here. And then we have Sophia Scheidler still on the mound for Lebanon. And we would expect her to stay there for the whole game. Again, solid pitching matchup today. Teams with good hitting, good defense. If you're a high school softball fan, you're going to see some good softball in this game. Get some comments in on the coaches here. Again, this rivalry between Mason and Lebanon's gone back, and Brian Kendall, the coach for Lebanon, has done an excellent job over there, and he has a great assistant, Scott Urton, who we have been across Scott in travel ball and in high school ball. Great coach. And then I understand today we have Alexis Strother filling in.
She's going to get there.
Yep.
That's
that speed. Another left-hander with speed for Mason right here. This is a common theme between Mason teams over the years. They have the lefty slappers, and their speed is very difficult to defense. But anyway, Coach Kendall, and then Scott Urton, and then Alexis Strother. And I was talking to Alexis before the game. She just wanted me to pass on that she's pretty much the face of Lebanon softball right now. So Alexis was at Lebanon when my daughter Ellie was there. So
okay.
they played against each other for several years. Alexis was a good pitcher.
Here's Delaney Rackey. Dave, one of the new additions to the team this year, second baseman.
Great. Tell us a little bit about Delaney. I don't know much about her.
Yep, sophomore. Obviously played in the Mason program on the JV team last year, so came up. Utility, so kind of find a home for her over at second base this year.
Okay.
Where last year Addie McRae was in second.
Yeah.
Kind of moved her back out into the outfield where she's going to NKU to play.
Yeah, I think that'll work out well for her. Get her ready for NKU.
Yeah.
I did see you
She's
down
starting
there.
to come along. Delaney had a nice hit yesterday against Oak Hills to score a couple runs, so the bat's starting to come around.
Yeah.
But defense has been solid.
That's good. Yeah, they have some other bats that give her time to catch up. I did see you down there working the NKU coach, so all four.
Saying hello, she said, yeah, Mason, you guys have a nice complex here.
I've been to NKU, and I know your daughter's going there, but I think this is a nicer complex than NKU. It's a nicer complex than a lot of colleges.
That's right.
So it's not, I'm not just picking on NKU. The turf field, if you haven't been here before, the turf infield, and they just put that in here a couple years back. The outfield is still grass. One thing that we were trying to get accomplished, but that takes just a little more money than we could figure out. But the turf infield's nice. Stadium, if you haven't been here, very nice.
I would say probably one of the nicest from a high school standpoint, just the stadium and the bleachers for the fans here. You don't see a lot of stadiums like this.
No. Even in college, some of them are just the stands, and you don't have the press box and things like that. So this is a very nice setup. They got a new scoreboard in here a couple years back, which helped because that old one was very tough to manage when I was the booster president. And every game I had to work on it to get it working. So our new president will get in on that. Their current president, Andy's wife, Brandy.
I'd love to be able to turf that outfield.
Yep.
Oh, so there we go. Just as good as a bunt. Freshman newcomer here, Alyssa. Alyssa's in the DP position.
Alicia Whites. Noticed her on the basketball court. We followed Mason Common basketball, and I know she played on the JV team there.
Also plays water polo.
Wow, okay. So she's just a
all-around.
She's an all-around athlete. Good for her. All right, well, freshman, you got to like it when a freshman finds their way onto the field.
This would be good if Mason can get one or two more here just to open it up in the first couple innings, especially against Sophia, there we
go.
go.
It is.
Nice job.
Freshman White's base hit. This is going to be 2. You have. Oh, that was closer than I thought.
That was closer. Yep.
Yeah, that Radke gets around there. Hensley around there. 2 more runs for the Comets. Nice hit by the freshman here. Very clutch. Inside out, right field, base hit. Very close play at home there, but she was safe. So we'll see. Andy's White's a threat to steal?
No.
Okay. Many of the Mason players are, so I just had to ask. So again, right here, it's just, you know, you had a walk, get that base hit. Let's not underestimate what Scheidler can do as a pitcher. She's facing a very difficult Mason Comet offensive lineup here.
She is. There's not, yeah.
You can say it. Go ahead.
There's no holes in it.
Okay.
And I really think you got that veteran leadership at the top. I mean, when you've had that many kids with that many varsity experience, in high school you just don't see that a lot either.
You don't.
And obviously, as you know, it all starts in that circle. So when Alicia is dealing like she's dealing, and you know you might only need 3 runs in a game to win,
you got it.
That it's just the confidence builds off of that.
Yeah. So there's been a couple years, you know, I thought there were 2 years that when my daughter Ellie was there, I thought they were right there as one of the best teams in the state, and we could never really get over that hump. I think you have this Comet team, I'd say throw it in that same category with Leisha and all the 4-year starters that they have here. I think that is another factor, and I think Mason could definitely make a run for that title this year. I would love to see it, especially Coach Muff going out there. We're going to talk more about Coach Muff later. I got the Lebanon coaches in this inning, but we'll get Coach Muff, Coach Bell, and Coach Meyer later. 3 excellent coaches that Mason's had the good fortune of being here for a number of years, and this will be their last year. So if they could go out with the state championship, wouldn't that be something?
Let's see if Morgan can, she's in a hitter's count here with Sophia 3-1 and flip that lineup over back to 700 Annabelle.
Okay, Morgan McBray here.
700 club.
Imagine that, she's a lefty. Following her sister, Addie. And I'm just going to guess. There she is, went the opposite way, down the line, gets past the left fielder. Whites is going to round third. She's holding her at third. So I think it was a wise move. Nice hit by Morgan McBrayer. Again, I'm going to give all the affirmations for the McBrayer kids here today, but a great hit. She took the outside pitch, slapped it right down the left field line. Very solid hit for a freshman. Good work. It's nice to see freshmen again. We had Milford had a very young team, and even though we sit here and say that Mason has these 4 seniors, which are key, they have some young players and some young talent on the team as well.
They do.
So whoever ends up taking over this job, the cupboard will not be bare when they come on board.
And I tell you what, look, this defense they're playing right now in Annabelle, what they don't know is she can also just stand in there and swing away.
I know.
There's true triple threat.
Yes, there's no way to defend her. And honestly, I would tell you, I think their outfield's playing a little too cheap. If she gets it past the outfield, she has the speed
to
on 3. Run the bases.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's looking to put it down and make the play. Third baseman Kennedy Yauk for Lebanon. Had Kennedy on my Hawks team for a couple years. Third baseman with a strong arm.
That's the key to the Comets this year, because that top of the lineup with the seniors is going to get some production. So 7, 8, 9 sophomore, freshman, when they're going to when they can get production out of 7, 8, 9 and flip it back, that's when they become deadly. Just like they did in this inning here, where 7, 8, 9 is getting on base.
Yeah. Well, I like the way get this from Ellie. The UD approaches it. They really work to keep 7 and 8 and 9 off the base for that reason, because you get to the top and they focus. Don't ever let up. You can't look at them like they're 7, 8, and 9 because then they'll get you. So you got to always pitch them tough and play them know their trends just as you know 1, 2, 3. And then they put a bullseye on one of the top 3 or 4 hitters to make sure that they stay away from them, you know, because if you walk a batter,
kind of like L2, right?
Yeah, you don't want to give that person an at-bat.
There was her swing away right there. She just missed that.
That's right. So Anna B, as Andy said earlier, going to Marist. Be another Division I softball player from Mason. Another college softball player, more importantly.
So we have 5 commits on this team to play at the next level. In the past Mason teams, how many have you seen? Have you seen up to 5 or 3? I'll
have to think. Ellie had quite a few on hers. She had her, Brooke, and Zoe went to Miami. Olivia Popovich could have played Division I softball, but she went to play soccer.
Yeah.
I mean, because she was an incredible talent. You know, she was, I mean, just like McBrayer here. She could hit for power. She could slap. She was extraordinarily fast. She could steal bases. She played center field and covered everything. Strong arm.
There it is.
There we go. Look at that. Base hit. Tough to defend that.
And she's going to take 2. Easy. Speed kills.
There you go. That was on the big screen there, so you could see that as he's saying, no, they don't let up. And that speed that they have throughout their lineup, they'll take that base. And if you see how the infield's all playing in, that was perfectly set up to take that extra base, you know. If you don't react and move back to your position, Anna B., Addie McBrayer, Morgan McBrayer, Aaliyah Hensley, they're going to take the extra base. So Scheidler, it looks like they're going to bring in another pitcher here. Let's talk through this a second here. And when we look at that, it's interesting they're taking Scheidler out because I want to point out that she is one of the leaders. She's 2nd in wins in the conference, 4th in earned run average in the Eastern Cincinnati Conference, 2nd in strikeouts at 70. So what Mason's doing here is not against a pitcher that is not good. Sophia Scheidler is good.
One of the best.
And Mason, this is their lineup. When they get hot, and there are little things here, you know, you haven't seen a home run yet. You've seen speed. You've seen get balls on the ground, beat them out. You've seen hit through holes, you know, with what Abigail just did. So there's a lot of ways that Mason can do this, and it'll be interesting to see how this
getting production out 7, 8, 9. I mean, you're gonna see Sophia pitching at the next level, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely, you will.
Stansberry coming in for Lebanon.
So you mentioned that earlier when we may have been talking offline. Is Stansberry another young player for Lebanon? She's a freshman coming in. She'll get her opportunity, and let's see how much Paisley has pitched this year. She's only pitched 1 inning this year.
We saw her when we scrimmaged Lebanon. She's flamethrower. Wouldn't be surprised to see Addie lay one down.
Yeah,
they might just want to get another run across the plate here.
You know, here's what I like, Andy. When we see this, you know, think about everybody always thinks that next generation of softball is not going to be as good, but we had a freshman pitcher for Centerville in game 1 who looks good. You have a freshman pitcher here. You can see right now she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She just hasn't gotten the opportunity to pitch because Sophia Scheidler's so good. So I like to see these young pitchers coming up. Talked to Wendell Hutchison after the game, Centerville's coach, and just told him how impressed I was with his freshman pitcher. So we'll see if she can do the same thing. Come in and slow this down a little bit. But she's got a tough person to face here right out of the gate. 4-year starter, 2-year all-conference first team, Addie McBrayer. So with a runner on 3rd and nobody out.
And speed at 2nd. Anything out into that grass is going to score Annabelle. Check.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on that. We have who's faster between Addie and Morgan?
Addie's going to get her on the speed side.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you have speed on the bases. Let's see how this plays out here. Went down looking on that one. I did not see the pitch. I was looking out at the bases, seeing how the defense was set up.
Number 16, shortstop.
See if we get a replay on that, see where it caught the corner potentially. Martin with an opportunity here. Fly ball with 1 out, scores another.
Okay, Stansberry comes in and gets the out. And there's another. That's going to be a double play. Okay, Andy, so we had a little freshman move there. That's okay. That'll help her
grow on it.
Gain experience as a freshman as she gets older, and bunt back to the pitcher, double play, and that'll end the inning. But the Comets scored 3, and after 1.5 innings, the Comets lead 4-0.
Can't believe you're doing this alone.
I've done it before.
I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up?
Hand me that board.
Nothing wrong with getting help.
I'm good.
I did it when Felicia left.
I'll figure it out.
I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning for Lebanon. Number 16, third baseman, Kennedy Yauk.
All right, Kennedy Yauk, the third baseman for Lebanon, to lead it off here. Kennedy has a little power when she gets hold of it, so keep an eye on that. Alicia Fox back on the mound for the Comets as we start the bottom of the second. Jammed her up the middle. Over to Martin, on to first. 1 out. Is that another 1 pitch, 1 out?
It was.
So keeping Fox's pitch count down. If 4 starts in 4 days, that's something that'll be helpful. So Yauk there in the batting order was number 5, and we have Paisley Stansberry now starting right field. Now the pitcher, freshman pitcher number 1. Fox starts off with a strike on the outside corner. Yeah, I'm really liking how Fox is looking, the confidence, the mechanics. She just looks so smooth. Last year, I didn't think she looked smooth.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not being critical of her. I'm just saying it didn't look as smooth, and she's been a good pitcher. But she looks smooth right now, and I think that's key to a pitcher going long into the season, working that inside, backing her off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, you got to think she's confident with a .7 ERA. She's feeling good.
Oh, come on now, it's .37. Don't
.37, sorry.
Don't double it up on her. They haven't scored yet. So no, she looks powerful out there too. I like that, and I just look around. I just, like you said, I don't see any holes there. Another ground ball over to Martin, comes up, feels it, on to McBrayer at first, 2 down. Yeah, Andy, I'll definitely be tracking with you guys, because I think you could make the distance in this state tournament this year.
Yeah.
Be fun to follow that. Had a couple heartbreak years when I thought they were going to do it back in 2016 and 2017, and lost in the state semifinal in 2016 on a couple just bad breaks.
Who was that against?
Walsh Jesuit.
Okay.
And then ended up losing into Lebanon in the regional finals. They were supposed to play at Centerville on a Saturday. Centerville's field was terrible, and Centerville has a different field now, but it was terrible back then. And I knew the AD up there, and I always gave him a hard time. And I still say if we would have played on that Saturday, we would have won. But moved it over to Sunday. We had some grab parties. I think the girls had that on their mind, and things everything went against them. You know, Lebanon was a good team. I don't want to take anything away from them that year. Alexis was pitching, and they had Maddie Hartman, several great players. And so they were definitely a good team, but we always felt like we wish we would have got it on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm. That was Ellie's senior year?
Yeah.
Where did they play state finals in 16? Where was that played at?
That was at Firestone.
Oh, they still had it up there. Okay, so it's always been there.
Yep.
Okay.
Up in Akron.
Yeah, which they turfed that field a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was grass back then. But
yeah.
Old stadium. They've done some improvements since then, and obviously the turf, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
They've remodeled some of it. Akron has, and so they fix it up a little bit. It was getting a little old.
They had a pro team up there for a little while, didn't they?
Yeah, the Akron Racers. There you go.
Off the bat, it looked like it was going to the left center, and it just died.
Looked like a hit for Cheney Justice, so we pop up to Hallie Martin. She makes all 3 outs in that inning. Comets are going to head to the top of the 3rd, and they have a 4-0 lead.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat.
All right, I'm in the house.
Okay, what do you see?
Nothing yet. Hold on. I think I just heard something. I'm heading upstairs.
Okay, I am almost there.
I'm in the bedroom.
Okay.
Oh, shit. It's not here.
What?
The gun's not here.
What do you mean? Where is it?
Cameron, are you in there? Open the door. Cam! Come on, Cameron.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend.
All right. Top of the 3rd inning, we have Paisley Stansberry back on the mound for Lebanon, and Alicia Fox back at the plate. Looks like it was I'm going to say maybe a changeup that left her hand a little high. I'm going to go back to this. Alicia Fox, I remember when she played for the OFC Heat, and her bat, and she was so strong back then, and I just, that's how I always remembered. Then I found out she was a pitcher, and just surprised me, and she's done a really good job at that as well. So if you see her get a hold of one and goes out of here, don't be surprised.
Yeah.
Gets ahead in the count, 3-0.
3-0. Somebody's looking, it must be pretty low coming in there. Right,
yeah, that one did look a little bit low. I'll say this, tough position, freshman pitcher coming in, you're facing the Mason Comets. Wow.
Yeah.
Draws ball 4, pitch walk. Fox down to second. I'm sure Coach Muff will bring in a runner. Number 3 coming in to run, Brooke Henson, junior outfielder, coming in to run for Fox. I'm going to guess that Brooke Henson has wheels.
Brooke's a junior.
Nobody out.
Bunton's been, Clayton has been known to bunt here and there. Does a good job moving runners over. Also hits for power too. She can do a little bit of everything.
Okay, number 9.
There it is. That I think
she got a hold of that.
So Brooke maybe tripped up over on the turf over there a little bit.
Avery Clayton. Okay, so it's another situation, like I said, when you have runs like this, things happen. And Avery, sophomore, attends Seven Hills High School. They don't have a team, so she lives in Mason and plays softball for Mason. Good way to branch out and meet some people, too.
Yeah.
Softball is like a sorority for the girls. It gives them a good group of people they can always go to. I remember that was one of the big things. You'll find this when Addie goes to college, that you know, they get in and they know people right out of the gate.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Parents love it when their kids are comfortable. And softball delivers a way to do that. Hensley going for the bunt.
Leo will work the small game for sure.
Yeah, I was always impressed with Aaliyah from the first time I saw her. Like I said, I knew her mom and I knew her sister, and I always see her mom working with her up there at the church in the corner of Mason Road.
Yeah.
And right there at that bend. And definitely a little bit behind, getting the bat angle there. He's got to get that bat out in front of the plate on those.
Battling with 2 strikes. I've noticed that with, I'm sure your daughter sees that up in the college level. These slappers, they just kind of just keep fighting things off, and it's a ball. Fighting things off, and it's a ball.
Some of them it make it hard.
Yeah.
But Hensley's batting 548 with a 611 on base percentage.
And she's been hot. I mean, oh, there's Tubner.
I'm a little surprised that Henson's not stealing. So tell me about Henson's speed here from what you know.
Decent.
Yeah.
Obviously, probably, I would assume we're probably a little bit more conservative on the bases with Tubner catching.
Tubner, if there was a right-handed batter, that might change it too, because Tubner is a rare left-handed catcher. Okay, and she has a good arm, but I think it'd be a little tougher for her with a right-handed batter up there. So we may see that play in this game a little bit later. Tubner going down to talk to her first baseman. Want to make sure they're working together on the pickoff move down there. Junior Brooke Henson, the runner for Mason.
Lebanon's fortunate that they've got 2 really good pitchers, and not only this year, back next year too.
Yeah.
And Stansberry's going to have a year of growth underneath her.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you look at today, in the Centerville game, we had a freshman pitcher and a junior pitcher, and then a sophomore pitcher for Milford, junior and sophomore, freshman for Centerville. We have a junior and a freshman for Lebanon. Mason's the only one that's bringing a senior pitcher to the table today.
Ross's starting pitcher this morning was a sophomore who really pitched well. 2 runs against Lakota East. Lakota East has a sophomore pitcher in Kaylee Crawford. He's one of the top strikeout leaders within the GMC.
Okay, all right.
The GMC has most of the talent within that conference will be returning next year. Hamilton's got a really good pitcher who's a junior.
Yeah, that Schophocker.
Yep.
Pass ball gets past. The ball gets past.
She's been a 3-year starter for Hamilton. So I mean, the conference.
Solid.
Fairfield will be losing Megan Spence. She's a senior who helped lead them to the state Final Four last year.
Yeah. That was kind of surprised to see them get there, but they did a good job. Megan Spence did a good job. They were pitching coach, and I know he's very proud of her. Now I'll say that they're complaining about that, but Tubner definitely jerked her glove back in about 12 inches. And I mean, and if you're at home or you're a parent and you see the catcher move their glove that far, it was a ball. Okay, just let me tell you that. Swing and a miss. Yep, that's the 3rd out. So Paisley Stansberry gets the strikeout to end the inning. We headed to the bottom of the 3rd. Lebanon looking for their first hit. Comets up 4-0.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
It's important to get a flu shot each and every year because flu viruses are constantly changing and immunity from the vaccine decreases over time. Flu vaccines are updated annually to work against that year's viruses. The best time to get your shot is in the fall, but getting it later can still help. Getting a flu shot lowers your risk of getting sick, and if you do happen to get flu, it's likely to be less severe.
Okay, we're back here in the bottom of the third inning. Alicia Fox back on the mound for the Comets.
Oh,
and it
worked inside.
Hit by pitch there to get the inning started. Not the first base runner. We had Tubner walk in the first inning. Hit by pitch here in the second. That was the 8-hitter, Kyra. I'm going to say Heuser. Let me get that right here. Shouldn't do that. Kyra Heiser. Sorry, Kyra. Yep, got her in the elbow there. Inside. She'll have a mark. Seams on her arm. Fox not staying away from, she's not shy about going on the inside, so be awake. I should have looked at that and see if her elbow was over the plate, but I don't think it was. Lebanon looked to go to the small game to get their first hit.
I believe this is their second baseman, Matty.
Yeah, second baseman. Georgia
12.
Underwood.
12?
Yep. Freshman. We've been yelling off a lot of freshmen and sophomores.
Yeah,
today.
we have.
Freshman Georgia Underwood, second baseman and shortstop for the Warriors. Ball hot. One. Nobody out. Leadoff runner on first.
I'm not sure if she swings away, Dave. And when we played him in the scrimmage earlier in the season, not sure what her triple threat game looks like.
Well, they're down in the order here, so I'm a little surprised they're not bunting. She's the 8-hitter.
Yeah, she
actually,
just took strike 2.
Actually, she's the 9-hitter.
She's
so
9.
The flex, yeah, the flexes. And we have Sophie Abrams, the leadoff hitter, on deck. So this is a, kind of a big out there if you're the Comets, and Alicia Fox works her outside, swing and a miss. How familiar are you with the Lebanon players?
Not very. Obviously with Sophia and Stansberry, just because Stansberry, we see her in the summer quite a bit. Obviously Ella playing against her for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know a lot of them.
What summer team does Stansberry play for?
Hawks.
Okay, she's the Hawks. You may have mentioned that. Oh, she's Joe Swirsky King, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of these girls are familiar with her, where obviously we see them at quite a few fields in the fall. So Morgan and Avery. See her quite a bit.
Yeah, Julie Josforsky and Kevin King, JJ and KK running that Hawks team, that national team at your age group there. One the count. The freshman looks ball 2.
See if we can get a nice friendly one hopper 6-4-3 maybe.
There you go. Actually, this is Sophie Abrams is a sophomore.
Lead off?
Yeah.
Okay.
A young talent on these teams. It's impressive. Nice pitch by Fox on the inside corner. I feel like Fox at least has a little more speed on the ball this year too.
Yeah.
It seems like it has a little more speed, a little better movement.
She plays for Wendell's national team in the fall.
Yeah.
And the feedback was her fall was really, like she was looking really good in the fall.
Good.
She worked it to a full count here.
Fouls that off, back past us. Count remains 3-2. Fox working. Abrams, the leadoff hitter, working. Let's see who wins this battle. 1 out. Runner on first base.
See if another ball to Martin.
Little inside.
Little in.
So Kyra Heiser moves down to second. Sophie Abrams over to first. Yeah, you're right. Both of those on walks, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's why I said you get 4 starts in 4 days. At some point, does a little fatigue set in at some point? I'm sure it does.
Take that back. Was a hit by pitch and a walk.
Lefty here in the 2-hole. Probably a little hard to double up here on a double play, but see Alicia can work her probably away.
Oh, that's a great grab by Clayton. Okay, that's what we're talking about. You put in that catcher in that spot.
That was a nice play.
A great find for Mason. A great situation that happened. Good for. Here we go on the highlight. Pops it up.
And she had her at second, dead, but obviously nobody there as they were all shifting on the bunt. Annabelle says, "Oh, we had that."
Big break there for the Comets. 2 down. Kyra Heiser on second. Sophie Abrams on first. Ella Tubner, the batter. Dangerous hitter here. I'd be surprised here also if Fox gave Tubner anything she can hit. Yeah, see, that's nice pitch, but it's just on the outside.
If it's in the river, it's in the river. The river's a ball.
It's a ball. And Tubner, she's played, high-level travel ball, and she's had a number of at-bats. She started since she was a freshman, and so she has a good eye for the ball. She's not going to – right now, 3-0, she's not swinging at anything.
No.
Now, as soon as I say that, she'll groove one down the middle and knock it out of the park. I'm sure everybody knows how little about softball I know. Yeah, she was swinging. Brian Kendall, he's like, okay, you're one of the better hitters in Southwestern Ohio, and if she gives you one down the middle, take it out of here. But she didn't, so I feel like I'm still right, Andy.
Yes.
Foul ball. I like Clayton calling it out, sophomore catcher. She looks tall and in command back there as a catcher.
She's really improved in the fall on her vocal. Not a bad pitch.
Tubner looks a little bit disgusted by the walk, but I like the move. Bases loaded, though. Got to be careful here. That brings up the 4-hole hitter. Sophia Scheidler, the pitcher, and I'm not going to speak anything into existence here. Let me say it after Sophia bats. I already mentioned that Sophia is the leading hitter in the Eastern Cincinnati Conference, the ECC. She's batting .700 coming into today's game with a .727 on-base percentage, 16 RBI, 4 doubles, 14 hits. That's pretty impressive.
It's pretty good protection for Tubner, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to walk her, you're going to get to the leading hitter in the conference.
Yeah. Tubner not far behind at 556. That didn't change today because she didn't walk twice.
Right. Fox in a little bit of a jam here. Let's see if she can work through it with the cleanup hitter.
Well, see, this is where I see Mason's defense.
There it is. Nice job.
Right
First
there.
pitch.
Popped her up.
Great job.
And that's why you walk Ella Tubner right
there. That's why you do it.
All right. Alicia Fox works out of a jam here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Comets still hold Lebanon scoreless and hitless. We head to the top of the 4th with the Comets leading 4-0.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
All right, I'm in the house.
Okay, what do you see?
Nothing yet. Hold on. I think I just heard something. I'm heading upstairs.
Okay, I am almost there.
I'm in the bedroom.
Okay.
Oh, shit. It's not here.
What?
The gun's not here.
What do you mean? Where is it?
Cameron, are you in there? Open the door. Cam! Come on, Cameron.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours.
Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Okay, here we are on the top of the fourth. Comets back at the bat. And we have batting number 14, Avery Waits. Alyssa Waits. Let's get that right. Sorry, Alyssa, you're a freshman. We're going to learn your name. Back to the pitcher. Pitcher bobbles on to first, and they get her out of first base. Good hustle by Whites to get to the base. Lead off out for the Lebanon Warriors. I don't know if they've had that yet, but yeah, I guess they did to start off the game. Freshman Morgan McBrayer to the plate. We have 8-9-1 coming up for the Comets here. Annabelle Geyser on deck. So far, Paisley Stansberry looking good out there, holding her own. Held the Comets scoreless last inning, her first inning in. Gets the first out of this inning.
See if Morgan can do it again like she did last at bat, down the line.
Third baseman Kennedy Yauk moved over a little closer to the line this time, so Kennedy paying attention to what Morgan did last time at the plate.
Morgan has the ability. She can drop down and bunt. She'll move the feet through the boxes. Bunt, not a slapper, though.
This looks like a bunting situation. She went back to the same spot, Andy, right there down the line. She hit it hard. I mean, Yauk was not out of position, and she just hit that ball hard for the second time. All right, 2 for 2 for the freshman. She'll be having bragging rights at home if this keeps up with Addie tonight. Anna B. Geyser at the plate. I always get with Anna B. before the games, she always adds a little humor to it. So today, I've been her hype man for like some boys in the past on my game. Ooh, off the dugout, keeping everybody in the Mason bench awake.
Let's think with those slappers, and if they're
yeah, you got to be awake on the other
sometimes
side.
they put them off in that opening over there.
But Anna B., I told her today, if there's any guys, senior guys in high school looking for a prom date, Anna B. Geyser's your girl. And just so you know, she is batting, what we say, 700?
It dropped. She's 1 for 2 today, so it's dropped.
Yeah, you go 1 for 2 and your average drops. So she's at 680 now, whatever.
692, right? Yeah.
So, yeah, good hitter, good player, and she's going to college to play. Takes that outside.
She's definitely a tough out. I mean, with her speed, her and Addie 1-2. They're just they're either going to bunt, move third baseman in, 5-6 will go hard, move outfield in, they can swing away.
Yeah, fouling it off too to keep pitchers long in the count, and that last at bat I think for Addie it was maybe a questionable strike, and you can't overcome that.
Well, and these two veteran hitters, I think one of the things that we've seen out of them is they know what the umpire's zones are. Mm-hmm. He hasn't been calling that ball on the outside part.
Yeah. This ump has been consistent. We want to say that first and foremost, but that is tough when you're a batter and you see there it is right through the 5-6.
Oh, hold up. There we go. I mean, that's the thing too. These lefties can put it off the turf like that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The turf is it can be good and bad for slappers depending on those, but that right there is a hit on turf or dirt. So
yeah,
let's just be clear on that. Morgan McBrayer over to second. Annabelle Geyser down at first. That brings up Addie McBrayer with 1 out. Top of the fourth.
I think Addie's going to probably try to test the short game here on the bunt.
I'm looking bunt down the first base line, honestly. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Or you if she could get that short 6 hole, because the shortstop's running over, so she could place it there.
You'll start to see Addie once in a while fake bunt, pull back, and then put it right into the 6 hole there where the shortstop is.
Yeah, look how fast the shortstop moves over when she's bunting. So that play right there is available. I think first base, too, with her speed, could catch him off guard. It'd be tough for that second baseman
to get all the way down the
sprinting
line.
in, yeah, to get, turn, and throw and beat her at first. I mean, you did it last time, and I know this was a slappers. You know, as her dad, you've seen this a bunch of times with slappers. As soon as you see in the ball in a certain spot, you know they can't get her.
That
you can call it out before she's even a third of the way down the line.
Once the ball hit and went up in the air, you said, yep, no dice.
They can get down there, you know, for those that aren't familiar with the slapping part of the game, they can get down there in less than 2.7 seconds.
Yep.
So a ball that bounces high, you just don't have the time to catch it and react. Ball 4 to McBrayer. She's like, man, I needed a hit there. Morgan has 2 hits. Man, you're walking me. What are you doing?
Addie's buying dinner so far tonight, right? Yeah.
We haven't gotten it in this game, I don't think, have we? We've gotten in the bullpen out in right field yet in this game? I don't think we did, so we're just mentioning another McBrayer. Brandy McBrayer, the president of the Mason Softball Boosters, working to get the new visitors. Hallie Martin wants that swing back, swung at a bad pitch. But putting in the new visitors bullpen out beyond the right field fence, something Mason has a turf field, as we talked about. They have turf home bullpen. Now they have the turf visitors bullpen. So this field is complete and ready to host playoff softball.
Martin could really break it open right here. You got Martin and Fox back to back. It could get
Martin batting 500, and as we talked about, with that key hit early in the game.
We got lots of speed on the base pass, Dave. Some in the gap. Could be Addie scoring from first again.
Ooh, okay, inside corner there. If I was the pitcher's dad, I'd want that call to strike too. So
you can see Addison down there jumping around, looking at Tubner. Tubner's probably like, I'm going to fire down there. These two kids have played each other for the last 6 years.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a strike. Two strikes. You can't look at that one.
Good for Stansberry. Coming back, battling. Their bases loaded.
Nice pitch too on the outside corner. Freshman hitting the spot. Alicia Fox going to come up with the opportunity to help herself out here at the plate. You know, we'll get to that point too, as we said, with Alicia pitching like she is in the Comet defense. You get a few more runs and this game's starting to get away from you.
Yeah.
Stansberry dialing it up a little bit there against the senior Fox. Wind going from left to right, out to right field again. Fox with some power.
Good off speed there.
Good off speed, but it was good off the plate
Looked
too.
a little out, didn't it?
Nice pitch though by Stansberry. Mixing up the speeds. Talk about hitting back. Alicia Fox batting .556 also. Fewer at bats than some of the other Mason players. She had missed a few games earlier in the year, but still .556. Solid batting average to go along with her excellent pitching stats.
I'd have to think with how she's pacing, pitching and hitting, definitely a candidate for player of the year in the conference.
Yeah, no doubt. 3-1. Tough spot for the freshman pitcher, Stansberry. 4-hole hitter, Alicia Fox up for the Comets. 3-1 count, bases loaded, 2 outs. Key spot for the freshman. She delivers. Up high, ball 4, walks in a run. RBI for Fox. Another run for the Comets. They take a 5-0 lead. And Brooke Henson back in to run for Alicia Fox.
Number 3, Brooke Henson on to run for Fox at first base. Henson running for Fox. Next up for Mason, catcher number 9, Avery Clayton.
Okay, it's Avery Clayton. Just giving a heads up about Avery from her neighbor, Anthony Pallone. One of my former coaches talk about how he thinks she's a pretty good player. And I think he was right.
A hard-working kid, yeah. And only a sophomore. Definitely going to be a leader for the Comets next 2 years.
I like it. We talked about her. You said she worked and got improved her communication and vocals out there. It's important for the catcher to be able to communicate.
Yeah, she's taken huge strides since last summer.
Ball out.
And really, like we talked about, for Sophia to be that protection in the lineup for Ella. Now you got Avery hitting behind Alicia.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah, so coming in and being the 5 hitter too, like you said, that's on this team.
Yeah,
that's saying something. That is definitely saying something. Then you got, I mean, you can't do anything here. You have a Leah Hensley on deck.
Yeah.
I like the way Coach Muff mixed up the. We're going to keep on. I'm going to talk about Coach Muff, Coach Bell, and Coach Meyer, but I like the way she's spreading out the speed in the lineup too.
Stansberry's having a little struggle finding the zone here.
Well, this is a pressure situation as a freshman, and her innings pitch, she's just not kind of similar to the last game. You get in there, you're just not used to this.
Yeah.
Going against a good team, bases loaded, good hitters up there. You can't just throw the ball over the middle of the plate.
Let's go, 9.
Look good pitch there.
She's got good velo. I mean, for being a freshman, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah, I agree.
She'll rear back and throw it. Sling it.
Yeah, she's definitely going to be around. She's going to keep Lebanon, you know, definitely a team of relevance for a few years. Ball 4, Avery Clayton, walk RBI, second walk RBI in a row. Going to put a runner in for Clayton as well. Coach Muff will use her speed off the bench frequently. It looks like
number 1, Peyton Schurz running at first base for Clayton. Schurz running for Clayton.
Peyton Schurz, soccer player for Mason. One of the top soccer players coming in. She has that knee brace on. I guess she had a little soccer or knee injury maybe. I was talking to Coach Muff. She was telling me about Schurz and wearing the knee brace, and just remind me again, Olivia Popovich was a soccer player. She went to college to play soccer. And excellent softball player. Just there's some of those soccer players that are just really good athletes. They have speed. They're strong. They have coordination.
It's Pop an outfielder.
Yeah, Pop was a center fielder.
Was she on the 16, 17 team?
She was a 2018 grad. She was on the 16 and 17 teams, but she graduated 2018. Fast, strong arm, just solid softball player. Great kid too. It's one of those. They had a great culture, just like they have this year, which is important for winning as well. Okay,
let's see if Hensley can break it wide open here. Add to the 6-0 lead.
6-0 base hit. We're talking 8-0. This game's starting to get. Ball up to Hensley. Hensley playing the true slapper role. She's moving up on that ball as it's coming.
Good swing there.
Interesting, I watch how Hensley moves her feet. She brings her front foot back, way back in the box. Usually as I watch these things, you come a little more toe to heel.
Yeah.
And she's got that foot going to the back of the box. Watch this. I don't know if that's just where she's comfortable, or as soon as I point that out, it's not going to happen. But that's what she did last time. See, right there.
Oh, yeah. So it goes this way.
Yeah.
It goes on that outside line.
Yeah, that's
usually
different.
You see this, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That back foot comes behind. Yeah. She almost pushes it back out towards away from her. I've never paid attention.
1-2 the count to Hensley. 2 outs. Bases loaded. Stansberry, the freshman pitcher, delivers. Ball outside. Looks like she has a changeup too. So that's good. Wow, two freshman pitchers today. Really impressed with the center one. No, impressed with this one here. She's in a little bit of a tough spot now, but facing a great team. There it is. Base hit by Hensley. She thought about it. She wanted to get off there. Brooke Henson, pinch runner for Fox, saw the ball on the ground, wanted to take off. I think Muff was probably saying no.
Comets bringing their 9th batter to the plate this inning. I think Alyssa led off the inning.
There you go. Yeah, 3 runs, 2 outs, that's 5. 3 on, that's 8. This is the 9th batter. Radke here. She took a rip at that.
She did.
She wanted it back too.
Came around to the backside and hit it off the bounce.
So Delaney Radke handling second base duties for the Comets today. Said Radke's starting to get her bat in line, so I think a hit here would be big for her. Ball down. 1 ball, 1 strike. What's our speed looking like out on the bases right now, Andy? You got speed?
Pretty good, because you got Schurz and Henson at 2nd and 3rd, and obviously Aaliyah at 1st. Anything in the gap there, Aaliyah should be able to score.
All inside.
This felt like a really long top half of the inning that Lebanon isn't out in the field.
Fortunately, the weather's not too bad today. When it's cold, like we were watching Kings Lebanon last week, it was cold. Yeah, anything like this just kills you.
Yeah. Just kind of struggling to find the zone a little bit. She's throwing a lot of pitches to every batter.
When you get to this spot, they're close, but they're not close enough. Then you sometimes make the mistake of putting it over the middle, just getting impatient. And that's when things start to get bad. That looked good. I'm surprised she laid off that one.
That was the one to go to. Runners will be in motion here.
Bases loaded, full count, 2 outs. Runnels will be taken off at the release of the ball. At least that's what we hope. On the ground, second baseman picks it up on the first, 3rd out of the inning. So the freshman pitcher has a challenging inning there. They get out of it. Comets score 3 more, and they're headed to the bottom of the 4th, up 7-0.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's up?
Do we have a gun?
All right, back here in the bottom of the 4th. Comets out there dancing to a little Cotton Eye Joe in between innings. Kennedy Yauk, the batter for Lebanon, 3rd baseman. Ran into Kennedy's parents before the game and asked them if there's anything I could say to embarrass Kennedy while she's at the plate, and they were too afraid to say so because they didn't want to have to deal with Kennedy later tonight. So Kennedy, your mom and dad handled the situation well and didn't give me anything to embarrass you with. Two-one count to Yauk. Nice pitch by Fox. No signs of weakness yet by Fox. So, you know, we're talking about the things of this Lebanon game, and I'm just going to start just Coach Muff has always scheduled a non-conference schedule, which is very good. And she's never wavered on that. A lot of coaches don't like to do that because they like, okay, your wins and losses. You know what? They still won. And it created a kind of a culture in the program that you saw what you had to do to be good, and then you had to play against these teams every game to win. And I think that just created Fox breaking pitch on the outside, catches Yauk swinging for strike 3. But anyway, it just sharpens the game. And as you go on, I always felt like when we got to the tournament, certain teams, even in our conference that didn't schedule, there were good teams, but they didn't necessarily schedule a tough schedule. There were some stat builders. And, there was a lot of reasons. I'm not saying they did it on purpose, but some stat building games. And when you play those tough teams, and I remember every game we played was tough, LA senior year.
Get you ready for playoffs.
It makes you ready to play. And Coach Muff has always done that. She stands by it. And, one of the many things that I appreciate her in her last year is the schedule she always puts together. It takes time to do that. You have to work to get those teams, and a lot of them want to come here. I remember Ellie's years, they had Taryn Avelo, who pitched at Washington. And Taryn was throwing 70 when she was in high school. I mean, when you're around here and somebody comes in and start popping, and I watched it. I'm not making that up. She threw 70. Her changeup was 60, and you're still sitting there going, what's going on?
And this girl's in high school.
Yeah. We actually beat them one year, 14 innings. We beat them 1-0. The reason why we scored is a girl got on a bunt. Taryn threw 2 rise balls that their catcher couldn't handle because it was so fast. Runner went to first to third, and then somebody hit a ground ball to second, and we won 1-0 in 14 innings. That's how you beat a pitcher. But those things are things I remember. We've had great games against Lebanon, non-conference. We went down and played in Kentucky and played Scott County, who was ranked 7th in the nation that year. We ended up beating them 3-2 down there in Kentucky. Just those are things that I definitely remember about Mason, and that's why they've always had, a great program. They've been blessed with talent. Don't get me wrong on that, but you have to take that talent and use it the right way too.
So the last few years they've been taking, during their spring break, they go down to Tennessee and play a few games down there, play some teams from down south. It's kind of inside out there. Yeah. And out of conference, even the last, 2 to 3 years, Anthony Wayne, who was in the Final Four last year.
They had 3 Division I pitchers last year.
Yep. They came down here and played. Who Molly Connors, who committed to Notre Dame, is pitching against us. Taze Valley was in town.
Called third strike. Fox, like I said, no sign of weakness. She's still dealing right now. That was Stansberry, the pitcher, caught looking. Yeah, you talk about that Tennessee trip and adding on to what I'm saying, the talent that they play, the schedule they play is great. She was telling me before the game today that Tennessee, you go down there and play those teams, and they've already played 20, 30 games. And you're playing your first 2 or 3 games of the season. But that's good. I mean, and she said your team went down there, Mason Comets went down there, and they didn't make any errors.
Yeah.
So, that's the kind of stuff that you like to see.
Playing on dirt.
Playing on dirt, yeah. How about that? Guess what? Most of your tournament games are going to be on dirt.
They are.
The one thing about being at Mason, you have this nice turf field, you're going to play games. Maybe the downfall to that is that when you get to the tournament, you're not going to play many games on turf.
So Mason's the regional host site for Division I.
And if you get there.
But we don't play here if we get there. So the goal is we don't want to host, right?
That's right.
That means we're in it.
That's right.
Last year they moved it to Indian Hill.
Yeah.
Who did have a turf field.
They have a nice field there, too. Yeah, no question about that. And you guys caught Haley Arnold on a good day with the right umpire for her.
Yeah.
Haley Arnold's a good pitcher.
Guys are taking control out there. I'll tell you what.
Fly out to center field.
Through 4.
Through 4. I'm going to say it only to us here. The players can't hear this. No hits for Lebanon to this point. The Comets lead 7-0.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
All right. Back here at the bottom of the fifth, they caught us chatting it up here, and fortunately we haven't missed any softball yet.
And Lucy Beast leading off.
Lucy Beast, she started off as the flex player, coming in and batting now. Playing.
She's batting in the DP spot.
Okay, batting in the DP spot for Alyssa White. So I think Lucy is another pleasant surprise for the Comets this year, playing in the outfield, right?
She has been, yeah. She's been rotating into right. She's gotten some really good opportunities as a senior early in the season.
Okay. Good for her. It's like you like players that, you know, they're there and they step up when they're needed.
Yep.
That's part of a good team right there.
We'll be attending Miami next year.
Okay.
Does a little bit
nice
of that.
bunt. I mentioned earlier she has a nice arm there at third. She showed it there.
Let's see if Morgan can stay hot so far this game. She's flirting with the left field line.
Number 7, first
yeah.
baseman, Morgan McBrayer.
So Morgan McBrayer coming to the plate here, and she's trying to put her sister away here for dinner tonight. So she's already up on her. Morgan, or Addie did walk the last time, but Morgan has 2 hits, and the freshman showed up to play today against Lebanon. Takes a swing. She wasn't putting that down the left field line.
No,
she was
wasn't.
holding that one. So how many more McBrayer softball players do we have behind Morgan?
We got 2 more.
Okay.
Both hit left-handed.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, right.
Stansley struggled a little bit the last inning. Still, as a freshman, I still think she's pitching well, playing against one of the top teams in the state. I'm a little bit surprised, honestly, that Lebanon does not have any hits yet. You know, that's it.
Right. That's not like them.
No, it's not. Look at that. Look at her, 3 for 3. And Addie, I think you might listen to this later. She just put you away for a day. It's a lock now. Dinner's on you.
Number 6, center fielder, Annabelle Geyser.
She's just been flirting with that left field line all day today.
She has. Give her an outside pitch. I think if I was calling pitches, I'd have to start throwing inside and see what happened.
Now they're coming in on Annabelle.
Well, you're in on Annabelle. You got you got speed on first. You got 1 out, and there's Annabelle bunter right back to pitcher. They're going to get her. Oh, throws it away. The speed caused her to rush her throw, and I think she's
ball's out of play.
Out of play. So I'm a little surprised Muff didn't send her, but now we have Anna B on second, Morgan McBrayer on third, 1 out, and Addie McBrayer at the plate. So that's the thing where with those slappers, when they get down that line, you could see the pitcher looked like she could have had it easily, and then she just rushed the throw.
Yeah.
Anna B. Geyser is fast. Muff's trying to get the base. I do believe it's where they start the play, so I'm going to guess that they have them right now at second and third.
Yeah.
She was taken off on the, yeah, I believe that's right.
Yeah. I think what she was trying to argue is by the time she was in between second and third when the ball actually exited play.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's at the time of the throw, honestly.
Right.
Number 2.
See if Addie can get to a point here with second and third, 1 out. Fly ball scores a run. Just see if she can swing away.
Yeah.
Infield's in.
She gets one in the game here, and she's going to be scooting the bases. Look at it. Right fielder and center fielder were all creeping in. Honestly, I'm looking here. I'm thinking of the defense scheme here. Shortstop running over. You have second and third. You don't have a force at third.
Right.
I'm not sure if I'd give up that hole like that. That doesn't make sense to me. What do you think?
And you're not going to do a pick play there.
You're not going to do a pick play. You're not going to get a force there. McBrayer fouls that off. Count 1 and 2. 1 out. The freshman Stansberry, the pitcher. The senior Addie McBrayer, the batter. Comets up 7-0. Second baseman up, third baseman up. Shortstop in the base path. First baseman back behind the base. Left fielder almost in the infield.
She can turn on one and get it right past the second baseman where she's playing.
There you go. Morgan McBrayer scores on the pass ball. Stansberry drops it in the dirt, gets past Tubner. Morgan McBrayer home, Annaby to third.
2 more runs on the board here this inning, and could be an early exit.
Defense staying in the same spot. Yeah, let's get Addie on, get her around, and roll out of here 10-0.
Oh.
Almost. Almost the perfect slapper. Kill the ball right on the ground there.
Addie's just trying to battle here with 2 strikes and stay alive.
That's good though. I mean, senior slapper against a freshman pitcher. Freshman, still working. There it is, right? 5-6 hole for McBrayer. I saw it. Annaby Geyser
comes close. I don't know if
we're gonna see her. Can you see a replay of that crossing home plate? I think we both think she didn't touch the base, but
Number 16, shortstop, Allie Martin.
Here it is. Nice hit by McBrayer there
Eyes
in the
down.
5-6 hole, and Annaby comes cruising in.
Oh,
she
yeah,
got
she
it on the
did get
corner.
it.
She's telling these old guys to
open your eyes.
You can't get me. There's a base hit.
Keep going, Addie. Keep going, Addie.
Martin. Addie's going over to third. Hallie Martin's going to go down to second. Smart base running. Coach Meyer over there talking to her. Got to like that. Coach Meyer, another great coach for the Mason Comets. Dave Bell, Coach Muff. And Hallie Martin keeping that average above 500.
Dave, I apologize if you said this earlier, but on Monday, last Monday, Coach Muff got her 300th win.
I did not say that.
Against Lakota East.
I think I said that in the first game about showing up for a win. It was cold, but yeah, Coach Muff, 300 wins, 15 seasons. That's an excellent accomplishment.
So sitting at 303 right now, hopefully looking like 304 after today.
1 out bases, or runners on second and third. Comets need 1 more for a run rule. 1 more and hold Lebanon in the bottom of the 5th. Lebanon didn't like that call. And still say the freshman Stansberry keeping her cool, keeping her wits about her.
Yeah. Like you said, it's a tough situation to come in and play, but facing this lineup too is.
And Alicia Fox looks serious up there.
She does.
I mean, seriously, looking at her like, in that phase, it's like, okay, wait a minute, do I want to throw the ball over the plate or not? Be nice to see him get this hit here and scratch 11, then be able to come back and shut him down. And saying all this with one out, still get some more things out. I asked Coach Muff, Coach Bell, and Coach Meyer today, what are your memories? And the one thing that just stood out to me more from all three of them, it wasn't so much about wins. Coach Muff really respects his rivalry with Lebanon. She did bring that up. I gave her 3 options. I told Bell and Meyer they had 1, but she did bring up this rivalry with Lebanon non-conference has been one of the special things over her career. Her and Coach Kendall, they get along, and that's all good. They just had some great games and battling for going to the state many years. So that was one thing. But the one thing they all 3 brought up is just the stories about the players and the opportunities where the girls got to succeed and how they handled things and how they had fun on bus rides. And Coach Meyer even brought up one of the funniest. She remembers, like, Ellie, they won the regional championship. I think it was her junior year. And Ellie comes running out of the dugout at Centerville, and they had this weird 2x6 piece of wood there. And Ellie comes out and trips on this after looks like the goofiest person in the world, falls down and tumbles and rolling around, and everybody's trying not to step on her. And she remembered that.
Oh, Addie.
So that's some fun stuff there.
That makes it 10.
Tubner looked up to hit the pitcher, and the freshman Stansberry was just a little bit late reacting to that, and Tubner wondered why she wasn't there, and I don't know if they would have gotten Addie McBrayer.
Probably
anyway. Not. So anyway, those things, you just look at it when they talk about, the players, and you see it here. We'll watch the replay. Yeah, I think she was going to be safe. And she actually went on the outside, which isn't interesting. Almost took Stansberry out.
She went on the inside, part of the inside.
The inside line. I was thinking outside away from Tubner, but yeah.
Let's see if Avery can unleash one here. Break it open a little bit.
10-0, runners on second and third, 1 out. But anyway, I think I just, hear those comments from Bell, Meyer, and Coach Muff. And obviously your daughter's had a great history here and a great experience. My daughter had a great experience. My kind of second daughter, Brooke Rice, had a great experience. She's the catcher for Ellie. And, they all just think very highly of Coach Muff, Coach Bell, and Coach Meyer. If you look at, we said there's a lot of talent coming back for Mason next year, but if you look at the loss of the 4 seniors, which is a huge amount of talent, you have to remember you have to couple that in with you're losing 3 great coaches, too, at the same time. So there is a lot of talent moving away from Mason on the field and in the coaching staff. So.
And the good thing about the program is, they've got 2 good JV coaches.
Okay, good.
That are helping developing that level. They have a very pretty big freshman class that's down at the JV level right now. Middle school has 2 teams that play every year. So, Mason always never has a problem with the numbers that are coming up through.
Yeah,
like some schools might have.
That's right. Mason's a big school and has the numbers, and there's talent down there. And I just learned about a candidate today here that's going to be up for the coaching position. So good luck to that person.
Let's see if Aaliyah can her second hit of the afternoon.
Yeah. Again, more speed here. Strike looking on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, when you only have 0 or 1 strikes, you don't have to swing at the pitch you don't like. Let it go. Now as a lefty slapper, she'll battle. Get a hit or foul off a couple. There's the 5-6 hole again. They're eating that thing up today. Andy, it's 11-0. 12 hits.
We'll just say, even going back to when Alicia Fox faced Lebanon when they had an earlier scrimmage, 5 innings. She's now 9 innings of no-hit ball versus Lebanon.
Okay.
Alex Seinen coming to the plate as a pinch hitter.
Okay, pinch hitter coming in for the Comets. Who's she coming in for?
Delaney Racky.
Delaney Racky, okay. Scott Urton, longtime coach for Lebanon, out to talk to Paisley Stansberry. Tough spot for Paisley today against this team. I think she definitely has some good pitches. She'll be somebody that Mason will have to deal with for the next few years for sure. Sophia Scheidler will be back for another year. I think this is not, again, similar to the first game when Centerville kind of ran away at the end of that game. This is not a testimony of Mason being good and Lebanon being bad. That's not it. Centerville was good, so was Milford. Centerville had a good day. If you look here, Mason's good, Lebanon's good. I think you have to say Mason is really good.
Yeah, and you got to think Lebanon's still going to be there. Come regional, they're still going to be a team to get through, to get to Akron.
I'm going to tell you that I think the 4 teams here today all have a chance to be there in that Final Four. Depending on where they're bracketed, you know, that could, because that can change. But Centerville, Milford, Mason, and Lebanon, they're all going to be right in there. All 4 good teams with great coaching staffs. I think that's. I'd be willing to make that bet that they'll all be out there somewhere.
Yeah. Signing a junior, 3-year varsity player.
Okay, I'm not familiar with.
So she's been on the squad since her freshman year.
Oh, that's right. She's a catcher too.
She is a catcher. Yep.
She was related to a player that who's here, Megan Burke. She's related to her.
That's a good cut there.
Megan Burke, also a former Mason Comet softball player, went on to play at Findlay.
Did you say they're related?
Yeah, I think they're cousins. Yeah, I believe so. Honestly, the funny thing is you say that with the helmet on. She has the sleeves, the black sleeves. She has the black gloves, and I really couldn't get a look at who she was. I was like, I haven't seen this before. Then I started looking. I know who this person is. She's been on Mason for 3 years.
We'll get a shout out. I think our next broadcast is here in 2 weeks against Fairfield, I believe.
Okay.
On Friday.
I think I'm up for that game
I
too.
think it's Friday 25th.
Oh, look at that.
Did she get all of it?
She got all of it.
Look at that.
A grand salami for Alex Sinan. Comes in, junior, 3-year varsity player. She puts this game, if it wasn't already away, it is now. Nice shot off the bat over the right field fence. The wind's blowing that way. That was a no-doubter. Have a parent out there getting that ball 30 feet behind the fence right now. Great shot, Alex Sinan. What do you think about that?
That was great. Good for her. Here it is, replay. She just stayed on it. I mean, that's some power right there. I mean, going opposite field. Look at her teammates down there.
And she's cruising around the bases. I'm going to take all the time in the world on this one. Soak this one up. Nice job, 1-5. She's happy. Crossing the plate with a smile. Very good. The stands are starting to thin out here, Andy. The Lebanon side, which did have a lot of people here early, is very thin now.
Sophia coming back in.
And going to right field, number 10, Claire Kendall. Kendall playing right field.
Claire Kendall, I guess that's Coach's daughter, Brian Kendall's daughter. Scheidler back into pitch. I think right now there's not much wind left in these sails, but Sophia Scheidler, good pitcher. Mason's going to give some players, I think, an opportunity to bat here, and like they just did with Sinan.
Yep. It's like
Beast is going to be back up to the plate.
Lucy will be back in, and then coming on deck is Audrey Hunt, junior.
Okay. It's a good opportunity for these younger players and players that don't get to play all the time to face a good pitcher and get in and show Coach Muff that if they get the opportunity, they can do it.
That's right.
$15-0. Wasn't expecting this. Milford had those couple of errors early too, and
Yeah.
then they kind of cleaned it up, and now it's really been more Mason's hitting that's taken over. Obviously, it's easy to say that right after a grand slam home run too. Even the Comet side's thinning out a little bit here, Andy.
And I want to give some props to Alex Simons, her 5th at-bat of the season.
5th at-bat, she has a grand slam.
Yes.
Very nice. Lucy Beast back to the plate here for the Comets. I believe this is her 2nd trip to the plate this inning.
Lucy coming in this game with a 308 average. A 357 OBP. She's doing her thing on the left side.
Yeah.
Couple stolen bases. After last year, her junior season had 4 at bats.
Okay.
And so coming into this season, getting some more opportunities and taking advantage of it.
Well, I like that. I'm glad she stuck with the program, and now she's getting an opportunity to do a few things and play for a potential state championship team.
One out.
This is a long inning.
I guess if you're a Mason fan, this is a good game to be broadcasting.
You know what? We talked about this earlier. We had 2 kind of games that got away at the end, but I'm a pitcher's dad, and I like to see tight games. I like to see good defense. Batters having to work for hits and small ball having to manufacture runs. But as a Mason Comet parent, I also like to see this too. And a lot of respect for Lebanon. And when you're a Mason, just like Lebanon when they beat Mason. When Mason beats Lebanon, you love it. When Lebanon beats Mason, they love it.
Yeah.
So it's anybody who's been around this rivalry understands that. It's not anything negative. They both have respect for the other side. Both coaches respect each other, and you just don't expect the score to be this in a Mason-Lebanon game.
Yeah.
But again, I go back to what I said.
There you go. Putting the ball on the ground.
Nice
play.
Yeah.
Lucy was moving down that line. She got some speed.
Decent wheels there. All right. We'll let you talk about Audrey, too. Don't know much about her.
2nd year on varsity. A little bit of a utility player. She can catch if you need her to. Play second base, play a little outfield.
Okay. Junior, so she'll be back.
Another left-handed stick. 16 rostered players on this team. 50% of them hit from the left side.
What is it with the water in Mason that they have all these slappers? It's been that way since Ellie was.
Yeah.
They're all good. I can start naming it for you if you want me to. I'm just sitting there thinking of the people going back years. But when Ellie was there, I already mentioned Olivia Popovich. I'm going to miss names, which just slipping at this old age, but. The number of, I'm thinking coming back, Sydney Carter, Tori O'Brien, they were both good. They were
Sam Pennington
hit the last. We just talked to her dad watching the game on TV, and I'm picturing a lot of these girls and can't get the names out of my mouth, but I'm going to tell you, Jill Aquila, and I had Jill on my summer team. Jill Aquila, she was just like Addie and. Anna B, if you're going to play back in the infield, she's going to bunt. If you're going to play up, she's going to slap it over your head. If you're going to play too tight, she's going to power slap and get a inside the park homer or double or triple. They've had those players every year.
Yeah, they're mosquitoes. They're just annoying. You can't.
Pitchers don't like them. So Sophia Schottler comes in, gets them out of the inning here, and Lebanon with big work to do here in the bottom of the 5th. Down 15-0. They're going to need to get 6 runs to keep this game going. Comets up 15-0.
How you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Mason.
Thank you.
A place to make my own, a place that I call home, this place that I call home.
Have you ever helped a fellow veteran?
Yes. I do my best reaching out to my brothers and sisters in arms.
Have you ever asked for help yourself?
Most of us, we're not gonna admit that we need to help.
You don't have someone to kind of help you guide those thoughts. It can be really bad.
It's just a beautiful space when someone can trust you and say, listen, I need help.
All right, we're back here in the bottom of the fifth. Lebanon coming to the plate, needing 6 runs to keep this game going. Fox so far, seems a little unlikely, Fox so far has pitched a no-hitter. The line scores Mason 15 runs, 12 hits, no errors. Lebanon, no runs, no hits, 3 errors. Again, I mentioned this to Andy, very uncharacteristic of a Mason-Lebanon game, and I'm going to tell you, Lebanon is a good team. Mason, I think, is putting it together this year, right? Mix of senior leadership, 4-year starters, playing for the coaches on their last season, getting a catcher in on board to a very good catcher. First one, lines out to the shortstop, Hallie Mark. A lot of chemistry with the Comets this year, a lot of good chemistry. So looking forward to it. I never got to experience that. We had some close runs at state championships when my daughter was here, but I think my man Andy McBrayer is going to get that opportunity this year.
I want to give Alicia some props here. We talked about her 4th start in 4 days. And Thursday, complete game, 7 innings. Friday, 4 innings pitched. Saturday, 6 2/3. And today looks like she's going to go full 5 games. I mean, that's just, I mean.
Today will be 5 innings, but still,
you got to bear down. I mean, that's, some of it's mental. And
oh, that's foul. Okay.
As we all
these are the breaks that happen on it when it's going your way. That was about what, 3 inches foul?
3 inches.
Here it is right here. We'll see if we can get a look on the line there. Yeah, we're going to see it down. Don't land behind that pole. There we go. Foul ball. 3 inches at the most. Good for Alicia. Fox, number 19, dominant on the mound today. Been dominant so far this season.
How many strikeouts on the day?
That's a great question. There's another one. Just add to it. +1. Strike looking.
She had 31 in those first 3 games coming into today.
Okay. I know she had 14 in one of those games, so that was a big one against Fairfield.
She's at 4. That was her 4th strikeout again.
Yeah, there haven't been a lot of strikeouts, but what I've noticed is she's had them off bounce, and they're not hitting much solid. You know, in that last game we watched, and there were a couple solid hits that made it out, but there hasn't been really anything solid here today. And she's walked Tubner twice, to be honest. And there it is.
Broke up the no-no.
Down here at the end of the game, it happens that way a lot, but that's okay. Sophie Abrams, the leadoff hitter. And we talked about this a little bit earlier. You know, you keep 7, 8, 9 off the bases. You had a couple walks earlier in the game to stay away from the bullseye hitters, the people that you don't want to make it back to the plate. And Sophie Abrams leadoff sees her for the 3rd time. Base hit up the middle. Doesn't take anything away from what Alicia Fox has done today. It happens. One no hitter. It's, you know, those are all good to talk about. But she's been
as of right
very
now,
dominant.
She might have lowered her ERA down to what, maybe 0.17.
It's definitely lower. We can say that.
We gotta get through this last out for her. Close this out. Tubner coming up.
The catcher, number 30, Ella Tubner.
Okay. We have 2 outs, so Ella Tubner up. This is a It's an opportunity for Lebanon to finish strong here in a way.
Two walks on the day.
Is it going to be 3?
Is it going to be 3?
I think didn't they walked the bases loaded with her?
They did
the last time.
Yeah, it's kind of a repeat of a couple innings ago. That's gone.
There it is. 3-run homer for Ella Tubner. We were talking about that, and you know what? I watched that exact pitch and hit exact spot. If Lebanon folks were listening, she did that same thing against Kings. Outside pitch. Drove it over just left to center field, and you kind of knew it when it came off the bat. Line drive with power. So good hitter, Tubner. And it gives Lebanon something a little bit to be positive about as they finish up the game. They didn't give up. Down 15-0, it's easy to pack it in. And
it is.
But again, a walk or so earlier in the game, and you let that target bullseye hitter get back up there, and they're Ella Tubner's dangerous.
Back to a 1-1.
1-1 to count here. Fox looking to close this out. I'm sure she's going to be disappointed giving up that home run to Tubner. Not finishing off the game. That might have been a swing. Yeah, I thought it was.
Clayton back there taking control. Won that call right there.
She did. She
wanted
jumped
that
up
right
with
away.
confidence. You have to like that. This is Scheidler.
If Fox can close it out here, get herself a little bit of a break going into the early next week.
Yep. Oh,
nice pitch there.
That was inside. Scheidler maybe could have taken one for the team there, but I don't blame her for not doing that. 2-2 is the count.
Good battle there.
Working her inside. I didn't catch the pitch. I wasn't paying attention to the pitch so much on what Tubner had out of here, but it was something with some pop on the outside that she just got the fat of the bat on there.
Yeah.
And drove that thing.
And Ella's just so strong.
I mean, yeah. Oh, off the glove of the third baseman Hensley. Another hit this inning. That's 4 this inning.
Just like signing. I mean, that's just goes to show you some of the strength of some of these kids. Anytime you see a high school player going opposite field.
Yeah, that's right. You know, the other thing when it comes to this, it's tough when you're up 15-0 to maintain the intensity that you had early in the game. You know, it's you're up 15-0, and it's just difficult to do.
Next up, third baseman, number 16, Kennedy Yauk.
Kennedy Yauk, the third baseman. 2 outs here. Lebanon looking to extend this game to the 6th inning. They're giving a serious run at it right now.
Yeah. Like we said, hey, we've seen comebacks on this Mason field before.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's not today, but
yeah.
Just gotta get through this last out here for Alicia.
And I would say this inning here from the standpoint of hitting is more representative of what we would expect from Lebanon. And, you know, obviously Fox pitched well and a couple breaks kept them off balance. Ball bounces the wrong way sometimes, but back up at us.
We gotta give the president of the boosters a little grief. I guess we ran out of hot dogs before the third game even started.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. I pointed that out. I mean, seriously, there's another base hit up the middle for Yauk. Andy Geyser comes in, thinks the force at second, but Scheidler was there. Or whoever they put in to run for.
Number 10, right fielder, Claire Kendall.
Number 10, Claire Kendall coming to the plate. We're going to go with Claire Kendall being the daughter of head coach Brian Kendall. Coach Bell coming out to talk to the team. Keep them composed. Runner on first and second. I mean, you have the game extending run at the plate right now.
We do.
2 outs.
Hey, seal all the way in and put the barrel on it. Let's go. Come on, you got this.
Ryder Mason kind of playing in normal positions here. Fox delivers.
Jump ahead.
Gets up on Kendall. No balls, 1 strike. Oh, 1 pitch. Inside, 1-1.
Dave, is there a natural tendency when a pitcher, if you start to get tired, does the ball kind of stay up a little bit?
You know, I think it just depends on the pitcher, honestly, and what they throw and what breaks on them first. Is it your legs, you know, that gives away? Is it your release point? So I don't think I'd say there's anything that's standard. I know speed sometimes starts to drop off. That's coming from the leg drive.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Here we go. See if we can close it out right here on this pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Kendall. Fox on with the pitch.
Strike 3.
Inside, full count. As we mentioned, we have the game extending run at the plate. Runners on first and second, 2 outs, 15-3, 12 runs. They need to get to 9 to get the game to the 6th inning. Swing and a miss, foul tip, caught by Clayton, the catcher. Fox gets out of the inning. And Andy, appreciate doing the games with you today. Had a good time.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Back at it 2 weeks. We hope everybody comes back and watches us in 2 weeks against Fairfield. It'll be another good game with good pitching in that. The Comets win this game 15-3 in the second game of our Reds Future Skyline Chili Showcase. We'll see you in 2 weeks.